Good morning, everyone. Wait till you see the mess. We made this mess. We got a major cleanup and a major repair that we're gonna have to try and get done today. Let me show you what's going on. You see this back here? Yeah, decided to take the trees down that were in the dog kennel, which is the nighttime buck area where we put our bucks at night to secure them from predation. And we have 3 bucks in there, the 2 little boys from the triplets and Picasso. None of the goats were in this area when we did this, okay? It's really not a we thing because I don't cut down trees, so keep that in mind. But the tree was cut the right way. It decided to fall the wrong way. So now we have a major cleanup, and I'm gonna start working on that here in a minute. So let me take you over here and show you the kennel a little closer. Yes, we're running the generator. Today is day 3 of overcast skies. Although the sun may come out later, it may not. I'm walking through this mess. So I'm trying not to fall, which is not an easy task because I trip very easily. But look at this, guys. Look at my dog kennel. I don't know that we can fix this today. And that leaves me with a big problem. Where do we put our bucks tonight? You can see he cut this tree right there. And he cut it high enough, and it should have fallen back that way. Still might have damaged the back of the kennel fence, but it damaged front and back. So this is the front side. There's my gate to get in. It moved my whole milk stanchion area. This gate is pinned and cannot be opened. And look at the back here. I don't know at this point if we're going to be able to save this. This was the old chicken coop in there. It is now demoed, which down the road we were going to do that. It is already done. So not only do we have to get this kennel back up, they're calling for rain at 5 o'clock tonight. We have to get a roof over it, and that'll hold the bucks for the night. But then tomorrow we have to somehow figure out how to build a little shed in here to house the bucks, because this is totally gone. It just totally collapsed. And the other problem is, if it rains heavy tonight, that piece right there of our rain spout is hanging. So that means any rainwater catch is going to be very little off the back of the cabin here. So that's a problem. And the other problem is this tree is up against the cabin. So this all has to be cleaned up and pulled away. It almost hit our battery bank, which is right there past that limb right there. It's right underneath the edge there. It did hit some of the cages for the water totes that we're trying to get cleaned. So it did hit those. Major mess, guys. Absolutely major mess. We've already cut a lot of the weight off of this, and his chain is dull. So he's going to try and find a fresh chain. And then later he's going to have to sit and sharpen chains, because this all has to be chopped up and put on a pile somewhere so that we can let it cure, and then next winter we'll probably be burning this tree. But it has to cure. Part of our problem is this was a live tree, and it has a lot of sap in it. And we still have to cut the rest of the tree out right here. That still has to come out. It was scary, guys. It was very scary. And the initial tree coming down was one thing, because I saw it was going to hit the house. But then it hung up in these trees here, and it didn't keep falling. And then he got in here. He tried to winch the tree that way, but we couldn't budget with a winch, and he was cranking with everything he had. He could not budget, so he did the most dangerous thing ever. He climbed this ladder and started wailing on it with a sledgehammer, and it did let loose. But when it let loose, it actually pinned him in here with his leg. Thankfully, he was able to get his leg out. He's not hurt, he's fine. But let me tell you, these kind of projects are starting to be beyond us. For him almost being hurt, it's just not worth it. But we decided we wanted to roof this kennel in to make a big dry area for the 3 bucks, which will eventually only be 2, but we still wanted a nice secure area for them and for a possible future kidding pen, which is a lot bigger than what we've offered them before. If we have 1 goat deliver at a time, this would have been perfect. Now I don't know if we can salvage it. This pipe right here is totally bent. I don't know if you can see that, but it is, maybe from this angle, it is totally bent. And you see our fence is all damaged. Where's that pipe? There it is, wrapped around the tree. Pretty good, actually. So, as far as I know, this is the only bent pipe, but chain link is notorious for stretching. So with this comes a problem. If we can straighten out and get another pipe even. Looks like my welds are gone too. See this? This is all welded. And that's gone. That's broke. This is another weld. You can see it's bent pretty hard. I don't know that's fixable. So that's going to create another problem. You can see, let me see here. We did get this gate open, so I'm able to get in here. The key is to contain the goats now. And here's the door. You see how far up off the ground it is? Yeah. That whole thing. You can see my shed here is leaning this way. So that's a problem. And I have to milk. I have 2 goats I'm milking right now. Since we pulled the bucklings off of Ginger, I have to milk her because she's making more milk than Trinity can keep up with. But you know what, the bottom here might be okay if we can get the fencing secured, but we're gonna have to take all the weight off of everything here. Everything has to come out. The whole top of this has to come out. Yeah, I just moved that. This has to come out. It's crazy, and he's exhausted already. I didn't think this would be a 1-day project. He said it was, but now we're looking at probably several days. And probably having to go buy some piping. Worst comes to worst, my quick fix would be to dismantle this whole thing and take it out. But that means I have to move my bucks to the old buck pasture all the way on that side of the house, which then they're going to be totally miserable because right now they're napping in that little shed and the girls are right there. So, yeah, not good. It's our own fault. We created the problem, now we have to fix it. I'll bring you back if I have any updates. Alright guys, day 2 of cleanup, some of the progress. The milk stanchion is functioning again. It's almost completely fixed. A little more tilt this way and it'll be back in alignment. I was able to milk my goats in there this morning. And the other progress is Jim is dismantling the old chicken coop that was in here, which was working also as a little shelter for the bucks down underneath there. So
this top part.
It's still good wood.
Yeah. Holding it pretty good.
You can see he's got this big ewe that was here yesterday. He's got it raised up. We were able to secure this pen really good last night. And I'll show you what we did with their bucks last night. It took them a little while to settle in last night, but it worked really, really good. Let me show you. Last night we did a switcheroo and we got them in here. You can see we got hay laying on the ground, so they didn't lay on the ground at all. We got a hay bucket in there. We got a water bucket. They have their regular feed bowl in there. And they spent the night in here, and they actually enjoyed going out to the brush line here, and they were eating some of the forage. But you can see they're quite content. We had no rain last night, so everybody stayed high and dry. The only thing we have to do with this shelter is put a new tarp on it. And I still think I need wheels because I want to be able to move it. Since I figured out how I can move the net fencing, I can move this as well with some wheels. So that'll come probably in the next couple weeks. And as you can see, Pup's doing good. Don't get near the fence. He has gotten shocked on the fence a few times. He's such a mama's boy. Stay. Tundra, sit. Sit. Good boy. He's learning his doggy manners. The only issue we're having with him right now is we have an old cat in the house he thinks is a toy. Don't touch the fence. Unfortunately, guys, when you have an electric fence for your animals, all animals on the homestead has to learn to respect it, and that includes dogs. Yes, my little man. Oh, your belly's nice and full. You've been pigging out. Look how fat you are this morning. You're doing good? Yes, he is. All right, guys, as we get this project in the back working, I'll keep bringing you update. It is day 2, and this shelter worked great for a quick overnight shelter. And like I said, the only thing I gotta do is put a new tarp on it, and we'll probably close this back side in. This is the back here, just so that the blowing rain can't get in as easy. What, buddy? You talking to me? They're still missing their mama, so. All right, we'll be back in a bit. Okay, guys, I'm actually in the kennel, and as you can see, the back wall is pretty straight already. We got to straighten this a little bit this way. The old chicken coop is gone. We're just cleaned out so we can finish cutting this wood, these partial tree stumps out. And I've been cleaning out the stuff inside here and the stuff Jim already threw out there. I tried to clean up. I got to go out there and clean up what I just threw out there. But we're getting there. Look at, I think that's Trilly up on the milk stand. Trilly actually likes to be milked even though she's not in milk. But that's where we're at right now. We have what used to be the roof in here, a piece of tin in here, this here, which is a piece of plywood attached to some wood. I don't know where it came off. It's somewhere off the coop. And then we have this big, off the front of the coop, okay? And then we have this big section here, which was the floor of the chicken coop. And we're thinking we're gonna cut some of this off and try to reuse some of this as a wall to the next little buck shelter. All right, I'm in Jim's way, gotta go. Okay, guys, as you can see, the kennel's all fixed. Still has a little lean to it, but that's, I think, going to be permanent. We do have a full roof over it. And let me show you, this has to be trimmed back or supported so it's up. So we haven't gotten that far yet. You can see we got a pallet here supporting the upper part of the roof. And the angle is going that way because that's all low ground over there. So the water will run away from the goat pasture instead of in it from rain. And let me show you what else here. I got little Miss Nosy there. The goats are all wondering what we're doing. We're working on the shed so we can house somebody in here now that we have it nice and dry. The roof line from the milk station through the kennel is all one line. That's something I asked him to do for me. And that way we have no leaking or water runoff right here, which is an important area of the milk stand. The wetter this gets, the harder it is to keep the milking area clean. So this will all stay dry now. And the topography here is all downhill. This all has a very gentle slope going that way, so all the water will run off there. We have the start of the goat shed. We put some cement blocks down, and we have an elevated pallet. Jim just trimmed this pallet to size. We have a piece of plywood that's going to be the floor. And from there, we're going to build at least 2 walls, possibly 3 walls, because we're in summer, we're in heat. We don't need a 4-walled shed at this point in time. Just enough that someone can get in there and stay out of blowing winds and rains. We did rake this all up. It looks a little rough right now, but we did rake all the hay out and clean that out. I'm being invaded here. Simba! Stop! Get down now. You want to be a bully? You get down. Alright, but that's my last update for this project, if you want to call it a project. Started out as a project, ended up a catastrophe, and now it's fixed. We may end up adding one more support beam across this way to support any kind of rain weight on the roof, because if we got torrential rain like with hurricanes and stuff, we'd probably want another support there. And it's just running another purl line like we did here. We'll just run another one right here. So far, all our shelters, all our systems are working amazing. Alright guys, this was a different video. Hope you enjoyed. Take care and God bless. Everybody's bullying the little girl. Alright guys, take care. Bye-bye.